Gentlemen, welcome back to the Tiege Hanley Starting a Business, Building a Brand vlog. This one, big number, 191. So I want to first talk a little bit about what constitutes clickbait, in your opinion. Because in my opinion, last vlog got a little bit more heat than it deserved in terms of the clickbait action. Because in my opinion, clickbait technically means when you've got a thumbnail or a title that has nothing to do with the content of the piece of content that you're going to watch or the context of it. All right, so like if I was talking about sneakers, but I just had a picture of a girl with like boobs hanging out, right? That's clickbait, right? But the fact is, last vlog talked about shutting down Tiege Hanley. That was what you guys considered clickbait. But then I talked about shutting down Tiege Hanley for the holiday. Was it provocative? Did I think in my head when I was choosing the title, you know, I think they might click on this because they actually think that I'm going to be talking about shutting down Tiege Hanley as a company like forever. Yeah, the thought might have gone through my head. Actually, it did go through my head, I got to be honest. And I felt like it was a very provocative, alluring, but engaging thumbnail and title. And so, not clickbait, amazing thumbnail, amazing title, in my opinion. Today's video though, not clickbait. We are actually shutting down the MENfluential Conference. This 2020 is going to be the last year of our beloved conference. It's over, sayonara, this is it, last one. If you're interested in coming, guys, now is the time. So today I want to talk a little bit about the tough decision that Antonio and I faced in determining that this was going to be the last MENfluential Conference for all intents and purposes. I mean, may we bring it back? Who knows? He and I have some things that we might want to do in terms of like getting together with people and maybe doing like some like small like meetups once or twice a year. But in terms of the conference, this is going to be it. 2020, the one coming up, is going to be the last year. So if you guys are interested in coming and meeting and experiencing just an amazing event, guys, I would highly recommend doing it because I think that with the fact that we are shutting it down, tickets are probably going to be a little bit easier to sell, the fact that they're not going to be able to be bought like years from now. And so yeah, so Antonio and I, this is a conference, give you a little bit of backstory. 7 years ago at VidCon, it was right around this time that we did the first one in Anaheim, California. Antonio reached out to me and he said, hey, would you be interested in getting together and basically getting some of our friends together and opening up sort of like a meetup for anybody who wants to come out and meet us in Anaheim, California. I was like, all right, I've never been to Anaheim, I've never been to VidCon, and this sounds like fun. Well, what happened was pretty amazing. 70 people showed up, and it was awesome. What was really special about it was interacting and connecting with people that I had just like interacted with online, because that's one of the issues with having this platform being online and a lot of online entrepreneurs is that you don't get to interact. You don't get the interpersonal sort of relationships that you do meeting people and interacting with people. And when you're an online entrepreneur, especially if you're an online content creator, it's a pretty lonely road. And I've talked about that before in some of these other vlogs about, it's lonely doing this because you don't have people to bounce ideas off of. You don't have people to celebrate highs and lows. And that's one of the beautiful things about Tiege Hanley is that having Rob and Kelly and actually a team and a business, for me, is different than what I normally do, and so it's awesome. But as a content creator back in the day, 7 years ago, that's all I was really doing was creating content, doing some like e-products and like a membership website, posting videos online. This is before any videos were sponsored or anything like that. I was just creating content. And it was the first time that I really got to meet other people like in this industry and in this space, and it was life-changing for me. I used to be of the mindset of I got to protect what's mine. I can't talk to anybody else. I'm in battle with everybody else when it comes to content and business. And Antonio was the first person that was like, nah, come on, let's get together and we all can learn from each other and help lift each other up. And if it wasn't for him doing that, I don't know where I would be right now, because there are so many valuable people that I've met, so many amazing ideas that have come as a result of getting together and interacting with people, face to face. And so 7 years ago, we had the first conference, and we've been doing it ever since. And ever since, it's been growing up until about 2 years ago. We sort of hit capacity at the event space that we have at Ambient Plus Studios in Atlanta, Georgia. We hit capacity, and we thought, okay, do we want to try to grow this a little bit? And this conference is a labor of love. Just so you know, even when we sell out of the event and have sponsors, Antonio and I make like no money. It's very expensive to put this conference on. More though than the expense is the time it takes to collaborate and to develop this type of thing. And it takes a lot of work. It's like a full-time, not a full-time, but it's a business in and of itself. And Antonio and myself have other businesses, have other ventures, have a lot of other things going on. And the conference is just something that we sort of would do, and each year we would do it. It'd be like, oh, I don't want to do this again. This is taking up too much time, and it's so much work. But then we get there, and we meet everybody, and we talk to everybody, and you just get so energized being around these people that it's like, yeah, let's do it again. Let's do it again. But there's something that changed, I think, last year. It was harder selling the tickets. It was harder sort of getting ourselves up in order to do it. And so Antonio and I had a conversation because we're literally like 6 months away from the conference, and we've got a lot of work to do. And he and I both have sort of taken some time off, not time off, but we really haven't focused or thought about it. Now, the good news is that one of the reasons why we always have it in Atlanta at the same spot and the same vendors and the same, food trucks that come is because it's sort of plug and play to some degree. The hardest conference that we had to figure out was the second year we did this, where we were moving into Atlanta and we had to figure out the space, we had to figure out food, we had to figure out audio, we had to figure everything out the first year. And then each year, it's gotten a little bit easier, but it still doesn't take away the fact that in order for us to sell tickets or to generate sales and to fill those seats, Antonio and I have to do the work. We've tried hiring people to help with it. We've tried outsourcing certain aspects that are the most time consuming. But I'm going to say, at the end of the day, it just takes so much time, effort, and work. And I think that he and I are both a little bit tired. It's a lot of work for very little reward. Now, the reward obviously is meeting and interacting and experiencing it. But for us putting this on, I think we need to take a break. We need to take a mental health break. And so he and I talked, and we decided that this is it. This is the last year. And like I said, we've got some ideas that we want to do sort of in the future, but it's not going to be like any work. There's not going to be any responsibility on our end or on our shoulders. It's going to be more just like casual meetups, maybe once or twice a year, have one in New York, have one in LA, maybe do one in London, but just have it, low key, maybe in like a hotel, and have a limit to like, hey, 100 people that sign up, first 100 people that sign up, come and hang out with us type of thing. But it is yet to be determined. That's not 100% for sure. But what is for sure is that this is the last year we're doing the conference, and it's sad. And he and I, when we talk about it, we decided, and then we sort of had a week to kind of think about it and process it, because we didn't want to make a really harsh or rash decision based on the fact that we're kind of tired and we don't want to do the work. But we thought about it, sort of talked to a few people. I talked to my dad, who is a very integral part of putting on the conference here locally in Atlanta. We couldn't do it without him. Talked to some other people, some of our friends. I talked to Eric Banholtz at Beard Brand. Talked to some of our the people that have been there from the beginning, and just decided that it's time. All good things come to an end, and it's an amazing thing. But for right now, unless we figure out another way to do it that doesn't involve a whole lot of time from Antonio and I, because that's the thing. When you get busier as an entrepreneur, this is kind of the business segue, you've got to pick and choose. Trying to do too much is detrimental to everything. And you've got to, they say like, grab the low-hanging fruit. Well, the conference is definitely not low-hanging fruit. The conference is a lot of work, a lot of time, a lot of energy, a lot of Antonio and I have to bust our ass in order to make that as good as it is. And it could be better. And we also feel that it's gotten a little bit redundant in terms of the speakers that are there. We feel like we could do a better job if we were focused on it, but neither one of us has the time or the capacity to focus. And so we could let it drag on, or we could end it on a high note. And this year we feel we've got some great speakers, we've got some new people, we've got some exciting things that are going to be there. But it's going to be awesome, and we're going to go out on top. And so this is the year that we're going to go out on top. Something else that I'm going to do this year that I haven't done before, I did the first few years, but I stopped because I cried so much during it, is I'm going to speak this year. And so I haven't spoken or done a presentation in the last like 3 years, and I already know that I'm going to get very emotional. He's going to speak because this is the last one, and we're going to talk a lot about, you know, sort of how much we love this and love these people and love you, and it's going to be tough. But sometimes you got to make hard decisions in order to stay inspired, in order to keep yourself moving forward and keep yourself growing in the areas that you need to grow, because that's the other thing, right? I've got a lot of things going on. He's got a lot of other things going on that all require our time and our attention. And I feel, and I know that he feels, that by giving the conference a lot of time, a lot of love, and what it needs in order to do what it does, not even grow it, but just do what it does, it takes away from other things that we are passionate about, or that are, you know, going to move the needle for us professionally. And so, hard decision, but it's one that sometimes you got to make. You got to know when to, as Kenny Rogers says, one of my favorite songs, you got to know when to hold them and know when to fold them. And 2020 is going to be the year that we fold them and go out winners. And so if you guys are interested in coming, last chance. I always say don't procrastinate, but it is going to be awesome. And I would love for you guys to come. Love for you guys to come and meet Rob and Kelly, because I'm sure they're going to be there again. The whole Tiege team, not the whole Tiege team, but a lot of us, and it's going to be awesome. But it is sad, and it is kind of heartbreaking a little bit telling you and acknowledging it, because this is actually the first time I've said it publicly. And this is it. Come and get it. But now let's get to some of your business questions. 77 thumbs down. But the good news is that we had tons of views. This is the problem that you're going to face if you're an influencer. Another problem you're going to face if you're an influencer is a business question from our friend Kadar Awad. He says, how do you decide what is appropriate and not appropriate to talk about on your YouTube channel? I know you don't talk about religion, politics, and you try to avoid talking about family issues, but you uploaded a video this week talking about how you've cheated on girlfriends, gotten DUIs, and endured abusive stepfathers. What is your litmus test for deciding if the topic is appropriate or inappropriate to share with your viewers? So this is an awesome question, and one that I wrestle with. When I feel like somebody out there, even if it's one person, can get value from something that has happened to me, or something that I have done, or a life lesson that I have learned, because, you know, that's the other thing, and the beauty of being older. I'm 43 years old. I had an entire life, multiple lives it seems, before I ever picked up a video camera and started posting videos on YouTube. And I struggled emotionally. I have been to therapy. I had abusive stepfathers. I've gotten DUIs. Not plural, I got one. But I've made a lot of bad decisions. And as my YouTube channel grows and it's become more obvious that the fact that I have an audience of men, younger men, older men, just men that look to me to some degree for advice. And I feel I feel a tremendous amount of responsibility to help in whatever way that I can. I don't talk about religion because, you know what, who really cares? It's not important. What I believe is what I believe. I'm not trying to influence you. Politics, I believe what I believe, and honestly, with how crazy everything is, I think that's just crazy. And so, you know, one of the things that bothers me is that a lot of celebrities that have like a social cause or conscience, you know, want to let you know so that they can influence you and your decisions based on what they feel. And I don't want to do that. And it's something that I decided a long time ago, I don't want to, because you know that whatever your opinion is, you're going to alienate 50% of your audience. Whatever I think, 50% of you are going to think something else. And for me, it's more important to have a more well-rounded, what am I trying to say? A more well-rounded sort of body of content and topics that appeal and apply to as many people as possible. And I still sort of dance on the line. I still piss people off. I still will upload a video and have a ton of people unsubscribe because they don't like what I'm talking about. And you know, it's just part of it. But if my experiences, my pain, my suffering can help anybody, one person, I feel like it's my duty and my pleasure and privilege to share that. And you know, life is about mistakes. It's about choices. It's about righting wrongs. And I feel like I have an incredible opportunity to really make a difference. And so if I've got to share some things about me that are painful or that hurtful, I know that there are a lot of other people that are experiencing the same thing. And you know, I get choked up even thinking about it, but one of my best videos, probably my best video, is the one I talk about my darkest days, where I sort of talk in detail about some of the pain around my businesses and sort of some you know, things that haven't gone amazing. And because I think that's one of the issues that, you know, with content, people are just showing like through like one lens, a lens of happiness, a lens of perfection. And that was really a risk for me, that video, and leaving in and not editing out the emotion, because I think that's something else that is not shown all that much is, you know, men that, you know, have emotions. It's okay, and it's not only okay, it's good to be able to communicate, and it's okay if you're having a crappy day. Everybody's going to have them. But that video, in my opinion, is my best video. And the reason that I qualify that as my best video is because I've gotten more emails from people saying that video helped them. And so that's my barometer. If I can help, I try to. If it doesn't matter, then I probably won't talk about it. On a lighter note, our friend Gary Hernandez, Self-Defense and Survival. What's up, brother? Good to see you again. This is business question. As a small business owner, my question is, how do you feel when you take a week off for personal vacation time? Are you able to shut off your mind and relax without worrying or thinking about the company? What do you do in this situation? I am the wrong person to ask about this, because I don't go on vacation. I don't shut it off. When I'm on vacation, everybody makes fun of me because I never sit still, and I can't. I don't know how to answer that question. I can't shut it off. I never shut it off. On weekends, I typically don't shut it off. Now, when I say I don't shut it off, I take downtime. Like this Saturday, so there's a lot of stuff going on right now with YouTube. They implemented this new algorithm change, and it's drastically hobbled a lot of content creators. I just spit, sorry. A lot of content creators, including myself. My views are down 30%. My subscribers are down like 60%. Like it's really hard right now on YouTube, and it's very emotional because of these tweaks and these changes. Like, I'll get into it another time, but there are some things that I can't control. And so this past weekend, on Saturday, I posted a video. It wasn't doing well, and I was like, you know what? I gotta not keep looking and checking, because it was affecting my ability to just be happy and to decompress. And so I had a phone-free Saturday, and I gotta tell you, it was amazing. Now, going on vacation for a week is not something that I have done in, I don't even know, probably 8, 9 years, maybe my honeymoon. We don't take long vacations. We'll take like long weekends. That's what I'm comfortable with. That's what my wife enjoys doing. We like being home in Marietta and doing this thing, just riding bikes and walking around and going out to eat. And so we're not big vacationers, but Kelly just got back from a 2-week vacation over in, I believe, Spain or Portugal, And I don't know. I mean, he did a pretty good job shutting it off, but he's always, I'm sure, thinking about it. But you got to make sure that you take care of yourself, you know, emotionally, spiritually. And most people, you're not supposed to work nonstop, and you're not supposed to feel guilty for taking time off. I do, though, and I don't know how to stop that. I think I'm getting better at it, but not great. And I think that in the future, when I think about my future, I think about things that I'd like to do. Like I would like to just get up and have coffee and go for a walk and hike a mountain. But I don't do that now. And hopefully someday I do. But hopefully you figure out what your balance is, and hopefully you can shut it off. And I think that's the other thing. For me, shutting it off is going on vacation, going to the beach and not looking at my email all day or just checking it once a day. That's, for me, makes me feel good, right? Because I have peace of mind that I'm looking, just paying attention, but I'm not focused, I'm not fixing or fixated on it. But you ultimately have to find your balance. But as an entrepreneur, especially when you're starting and things are growing and you're trying things and you're responsible for a lot, it's very, 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 very hard to shut it off. The last question, guys, this question is so good and it's so important. I want you to ask it again on next vlog. So next week we're going to be in Chicago, headed to Chicago next week to have our quarterly meeting. We got a lot of stuff to discuss, but I will obviously be bringing the camera and you guys along to talk to people and to be there. But I'm really looking forward to that and very excited to go up and see everybody. We got a lot of things to figure out. We're struggling with certain things. We're doing well in certain areas, but these quarterly meetings are vital for us to move forward in a productive and positive direction. But on next vlog, guys, please comment. There are some other business questions that I wasn't able to get to because of the length of time that I ran my trap about the conference and all the other stuff. But this question right now that I want to tell you about, you need to post it again in next vlog, so we'll get to it the following week because it is so good. It's from our friend No Spam Elf. He says, what have you learned about the value of discounts in sales? Does it drive sales? Does the higher volume make up for lower margins? So discounting is, like, we need to do a video just on this topic, to be completely honest, because there's a lot of different schools of thought. There is a lot of different sort of, people, a lot of businesses do different things and have different opinions on this. Tiege Hanley has an opinion. Pete and Pedro has an opinion. Like, every business that I'm involved with has an opinion. Tiege Hanley, we talk about this on a quarterly basis about discounting and what we're doing and what type of affiliate program. Like, it is something that you are going to have to face. It's something that you're going to struggle with. Beard Brand, my buddy Eric at Beard Brand, he never discounts at all. Thursday Boots, never discount at all. And but Tiege Hanley, we offer codes, and Pete and Pedro, I'll offer codes, but my codes have gotten less since I hired my guy Mike Levy from the Grooming Lounge, which he sort of got me thinking about discounts in a different way. And it's really a very intricate and important topic for us to talk about on this vlog because it is about business and something that you will ultimately have to face. So guys, down in the comments, if you've got a business question, ask it. Next week, we're going to be in Chicago, but the following week, I'm going to get to as many of your business questions as possible. But I really want to focus on this concept of discounting because it is critical to figure out because a lot of people make a lot of mistakes. A lot of people have different ideas, and I'm going to share my perspective, my thoughts, Tiege Hanley's thoughts, and how that all works and rolls. Guys, that's it. If you dug this video, why don't you give it one of these because we love you more than our double monk strap shoes. And next week, I'll see you in Chicago.